Well, I am so excited to be here with Susan Henricks. She is the president and CEO of ICANN. Susan, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, Andy, thank you so much for inviting me. It's great to see you virtually, but I know I'll be seeing you in person soon.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about just ICANN. What is ICANN for people that may or may not know?
Sure. So ICANN, it actually stands for the Institute for Career Advancement Needs. This is ICANN's 40th anniversary this year.
Oh, are you serious?
I
am
my
serious.
Goodness.
Okay.
And it'll be our 28th conference.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was founded by a group of women 40 years ago to focus on leadership development for women and men. And so ICANN is all about leadership development, helping people grow as leaders, become more authentic leaders in whatever they do.
Yeah, I mean, I've been involved in several of the programs over the years because there's so many things that there's a lot of, like you said, educational pieces. There's just a lot of ways for people to get involved and hosting a lot of different wonderful events. Before we get into the big event coming up in August, what are some of those events? Because I know you have like the 777.
Yes. So we do what we call the 777. So it is 7 speakers, 7 minutes each with 7 different topics. And we do it in conjunction with Dr. Todd Darnold at Creighton's Business School. And it is a wonderful event. We have everything from CEOs of the largest corporations in Omaha to people that are special volunteers within a particular organization, to people that are working on developing Omaha, to individuals who are focused on diversity, equity, inclusion. So we really try to have a very diverse set of subjects and a very diverse set of individuals.
Yeah, I always love attending those. Do you have one scheduled in the fall?
We do. It will be October 28th at Creighton University at the College of Business at the Harper Center. And we'll be sending out information about that in the near future.
Okay. Well, let's just dive into this year's conference. Like you said, it's the 28th year. Last year, like so many events, you had to pivot and you did it online.
Correct.
All virtual. But this year, can you attend, but can you also do it online? Is there both ways?
Yes. Okay. Yes. We're doing, all these new words that we've focused on in the last year, right? Pivot, hybrid, etc. So it's a hybrid conference.
Yeah.
We will be hosting an in-person group of people at the CHI Health Center. Rather than having 10 people at a table, we're going to have 5 people at a table. Okay. And we will have, the tables appropriately distanced.
Sure.
And then people can also attend virtually. So right now we have a lot of people signed up for in-person and a lot of people signed up for virtual.
Yeah, I almost see that potentially, especially with some of these bigger conferences, that may be the way that you just move forward and do it, because you can bring in a lot more people if they can't actually get there physically.
Yes. You know what, we're finding that companies that are headquartered in, Omaha or Lincoln or, our region,
sure,
they're sending more people virtually this year.
Yeah.
Rather than thinking, oh gosh, we need to bring everybody into Omaha to the convention center.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. It's kind of opened up a whole new area of people to attend.
Right. Okay. What is the theme for this year's conference?
The theme is awesome, like it is, like we think it is every year, right? So this year it is in sight, and then it's step up, stand out, stand together. And the whole theme is about, how do I step up in my organization? How do I help myself to stand out in my organization, to either take on more responsibility or move up in my organization, or whatever my goal might be.
Sure.
And then the stand together piece, we felt like it was really important this year to have an element of community.
Mhm.
And what do you do to stand together in our community? Whether it's volunteer work, whether it's participating on a board of a nonprofit organization, whether it's mentoring a young person, whatever that is, what we find is that women in business are more successful even after they volunteer and after they participate in community events.
Yeah. So the event is on the 11th of August.
August 11th, correct?
And so
And-
kind of walk us through just kind of what the day looks like.
Sure. So we have a wonderful host of speakers. And I would just like to point out that the individuals who will be watching virtually and then the people watching in person, they will be seeing the exact same speakers, content, slides, everything. So there will be a number of just fantastic speakers. Many will be talking about the importance for women in business to have a mentor or a sponsor.
Yeah.
And that mentor or sponsor can be another woman, of course, but it can also be, and many times has to be, a man. So we have two speakers. They're two gentlemen that have written a book called The Good Guys. And the book is all about the importance of men supporting women and mentoring and sponsoring women in business. And so they're going to be, I'm really looking forward to them. We started a pre-event to the conference actually yesterday. And it is two of who we think are the, if you will, the good guys in Omaha. Tim Burke, the just newly retired CEO of PPD, and Steve Grantfield, who's the CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield Nebraska. Both of them have very diverse executive teams and businesses, and both have really focused on not just women, but people of color, LGBTQ, et cetera, in their leadership teams. So it's a discussion with the two of them about their beliefs on why it's so important to have a diverse leadership team.
Absolutely. I know during the conference you have different breakout sessions, correct?
This year we've decided not to do breakout sessions.
Okay.
Actually, because of COVID, we thought, let's have everybody remain in kind of one space and not moving about with a thousand other people. And so what we're doing instead is we're having some what we're calling workshops, and they'll be for everyone, and they'll be on various subjects like, how do you get involved in nonprofit organizations? How do you ask someone to be your mentor or sponsor? And so it'll be a little bit different take on the breakout sessions.
Sure.
But we're just following an abundance of caution now that we are post-COVID. And so I suspect next year we will go back to having breakout. The other element I'd like to just mention is I interviewed Chanda Chacon, who is the new CEO of Children's Hospital and Medical System. And she is fabulous. And so I would encourage people to watch that video.
So because I'm looking at you here, and I've got my other computer over here looking at your website, the ICANN Leadership Conference. Before I go to there, where can we find that video? How do we find that video?
So in order to watch that particular video of Chanda, as well as the one with Tim Burke and Steve Grantfield, you have to be registered for the conference, and then you'll be sent a link to be able to watch those videos. And then for the actual day of the conference, We will have many of the speakers live on stage. We will have a couple speakers live, but from other locations.
Sure.
So it's going to be really interesting to have these people from around the world speak.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So the ICANN conference website, icanconference.com. Again, you've got the agenda, you've got the speakers, there's event information. There's so much great information on the website. So let's talk a little bit about ticket sales. The great thing about a hybrid is you can't sell out.
Correct. Correct. We can't sell out.
Yeah.
Yes. And so ticket sales are going well. We knew that we would not probably reach the 3,200 that we
Sure.
had in 2019, but ticket sales are going very, very well. And so we'll probably have about 1,000 plus people in person.
Sure.
And about that same number
Yeah.
in virtual.
So your ticket price, and how much are tickets because it's for the entire day?
Correct.
And then all these other videos you're getting. So
right. Yeah. All the ticket pricing is on our website.
right.
And it depends on if you're a small business, a student, et cetera. So again, I would just ask people to go to icanconference.com, as you said.
Absolutely. And again, there's so much information, and then there's also a little bit of background. I'm excited for this conference, and I'm excited. I love the theme. I think it's great, and we're ready for it. And like you said, this, even though it's an ICANN Women's Leadership Conference, do men attend?
Men do attend. We usually have about 100 men.
Okay.
And what they walk away saying is, wow, I learned so much. And they walk away saying, gee, it isn't about men bashing. It's about helping women to be better leaders in their organizations.
Yeah.
And so men are always super impressed with the content.
Yeah. Well, let me see. Is there anything else? Anything else that we need? I'm kind of looking at my notes here. We've covered a lot, and we're almost out of time. So, any kind of final words that you'd like to?
Sure. I would just like to mention that ICANN offers a number of open enrollment programs, meaning anyone can enroll, women or men. And we have a program called Defining Leadership. And then we have a newer program that's called Examining Unconscious Bias. And the reaction to the new program on unconscious bias has been fantastic. And it's all about each individual learning, what are my biases? Even though I might think I have no biases.
Right.
We all have biases of some sort. And so we do have open enrollment programs, and then we do a lot of custom programs for pretty much the larger organizations in Omaha and Lincoln.
Yeah.
And all of that custom work is set up to meet their specific objective. So just wanted to mention that we do
absolutely
all this leadership development work in addition to the conference and the 777.
Yeah. And so where can people go to find that information out?
icanglobal.net.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I encourage people to go there as well. I've gone through some of the trainings that you had years ago, and it was amazing. And you're always developing new things, engaging people in new ways, which is what I love about your organization and just what it does for the community. So I just want to personally say thank you.
Well, thank you, Andy, and thank you for inviting me to talk with you today.
You're welcome. And again, everybody, the conference site is icanconference.com, or go to icanglobal.net to learn more about ICANN. So thanks so much, Susan, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you. I look forward to it.
Well, hello, my friends. I'm here with Legenhausen and Bailey. So I want to welcome you both to Metro TV. How's it going?
It's good. Good to see you. Good to be seen. Thank you for all you do for us.
Well,
A word.
and thank you. I want to talk a little bit about Pets in Omaha. You've got this a big expo, Pick a Pooch event expo coming up later on. Actually, it's going to be coming up very soon. But let's just first talk about Bailey for a second, because Bailey's a new addition to your family. So talk about Bailey for a minute. Introduce us to Bailey.
Well, this is Bailey, and she's a sweetheart, and she needed a good home. And somebody reached out to me and told me about her, and we lost Kirby in January.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, people would ask a lot of times, well, do you think you'll ever have another dog? And I said, of course I will. I just don't know when yet.
Yeah.
It was just the right time. And she just, I've never had a girl dog before, so that's different. But she's just a little sweetheart, and just love her.
Well, I mean, I know Kirby, we both have had animal companions that have meant so much to us. And when you lose one, and especially Kirby, what an amazing little beautiful being. I know that was hard, and I'm sure it still is hard, but you have somebody like this little girl come into your life. And I'll just show, here's this little girl that's climbing up my leg. This is Sunshine, who can't see, doesn't have any eyes. But she's such a blessing, because I lost Benny last April very unexpectedly. And it's funny, I said, I'm not going to get a cat that looks like Benny. And this little girl got presented to me and really looks and acts a lot like Benny. I think there's a little bit of Benny in there with her. So, well, let's just talk about Pets in Omaha. Tell me, no, okay, 8 years, 9 years, where are we at?
2013, we started the online mag.
So we're 8 years into it.
I'm sorry. If it wasn't for Kirby, there probably wouldn't be a Pets in Omaha.
Yeah.
So
what a blessing. What a blessing that little guy was, for so many reasons.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we've been around for 8.5 years now, and it's anything pets in the area. We always want to help the rescues and the shelters as much as we can. And we've had we have a great team of people that work on our site, and we've had over 2,000 different articles.
Wow.
Original articles. And so we get reads from all over the country, out of the country and everything, but mainly right here in the Midwest.
Yeah. So it's petsinomaha.com website, correct? I'm actually looking at it here on my other computer. There's so much information on this site. And like you said, it's all things pets, really all things pets. And so I encourage people to check it out. So back in 2013, you founded this, and I've just kind of watched it grow over the years. And I just think last year, was a very crazy year for all of us. And the Pick a Pooch adoption event, an expo that's coming up on the 24th and 25th. How many years is this? Because last year you didn't have it, right? Or it was online.
Yeah, we had to do a virtual, and hopefully we never have to do that again. But it worked out for some of the rescues and some of the vendors.
Sure.
But we're just so glad that we can have it. And it's at our new home. And we were supposed to be at the Baxter Arena last year before COVID hit and all that stuff. So
is this like the 5th or 6th year? What year is this?
This will be the 6th year.
Okay.
Should be our 7th year, but you know how that happened.
Sure. Absolutely.
And we'll have a lot more parking. We'll have a lot more space indoors. And, when it's middle of July or late July, it's pretty hot out there. So it's nice to have an air conditioned place to have it. Also that weekend, right across the street at Exarban Village is Ribstock, and they're going to have thousands of people there, and it's dog friendly too, pet friendly. And so we've already shaken hands with them. We'll shove people their way, and they'll get some people coming to ours when they leave, you know. And then on that Sunday, on the 25th, the farmers market is in our parking lot at Baxter Arena. So yeah, it could be really, really big this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So 6 years. So what can people expect from it? I've been to it several times at a different venue, but I'm excited to check out the new space. But who comes to this and what can they expect?
Well, people that, as far as guests, people who are looking to maybe adopt an animal. A lot of them aren't looking to adopt an animal. They just want to meet the vendors and all that. And, you know, they're allowed to bring their own dog in on a leash or carry it around or whatever they want to do. And there's a lot of swag that comes out, you know, a lot of these vendors, you know, have lots of things to give away for people. So yeah, it's just, I always tell people, and it's about 50-50, 50% of the companies that come to our show have nothing to do with animals, but they care about the animals or else they wouldn't be there. But
Right.
It's a consumer show. You know, what does Pyramid Roofing have to do with dogs? Well, not much, except for, you know, and it's all about the people that are walking around. It's all those, it's like a show with dogs running all over the place.
Right. It's a lot of fun. So I'm looking at the website. So how many rescue shelters will you have there?
We'll have 20, and we may have a couple more. Sometimes they just don't have much. And over this pandemic time, you know, a lot of animals were adopted. So some of them are maybe low on inventory, if you put it that way. And they also need the volunteers to help. And you know, sometimes they can only get maybe 2 or 3 to man a booth right now. And, you know, they can only have, you know, they can't watch 10 dogs with 2 or 3 people. So until it happens.
So if somebody wants to adopt a pet, they can come out, they can visit with the shelter. Can they take the pet with them, or is there a adoption process
that's where it starts?
Okay.
They fill out a form, you know, and then and it's almost like a background check. These groups, they'll go out and look at your house and see that you don't have 19 dogs already, or if you don't have a fence, or, you know, maybe you got 19 kids, you know, whatever. Right. But they're not just going to hand them out there at the show.
Yeah, because I mean, as we both know, so many people know, adopting a pet, it's a huge responsibility, and that animal is depending on you to care for it for the rest of its life. So it is a big responsibility.
And they spend a lot of money getting these dogs healthy, you know, the ones that they pull out from the what am I trying to say? The pet shelters that are, you know, just horrible, you know.
Right.
So, and sometimes, you know, a tornado has torn up a town, there are floods and all that stuff, and some of these dogs are coming in kind of bad shape, but, you know, most of them get healthy again.
Yeah, which is why also it's so important to come out and get to know the rescues, their mission, you know, how they help the animals, because, you know, they do, like you said, they take some of these animals that are just sometimes almost on death's door and get them healthy. And that requires donations and funds and additional resources. So it's a great way to get to know these pet rescues. And then, like you said, there's lots of vendors out there that are pet related and not pet related, but I love it because they're all supporting this event. And it's just a great way to spend an afternoon or a morning, you know? So, well, we're actually almost at the 10-minute mark. Isn't that hard to believe? It goes by fast. So
it does.
let's talk about getting tickets and for the event.
Yeah, tickets this year are only $5. And when you come in, pay your $5, we're going to give you a $5 raffle ticket to kind of offset that a little bit. We had to charge this year just because we lost so much money with advertising coming up for last year's, and then all of a sudden we knew that we do it, so that was all wasted. So they can go to the Baxter Arena site, and they can get tickets online there, have them on their phone or whatever, but we will have tickets there when they come in.
Yeah. Well, again, I encourage everybody to go to petsofomaha.com. There's a ton of information. There's also all this information on the website about the event. And then you have a Facebook page as well, where you have lots of info. That's
Right.
easy to find too, Pets in Omaha. So.
And we'll put this up there as soon as we get it back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Lee, I'm glad this happened. This kind of came together pretty quickly. But it's so great. It's so good to see you. It's great to meet Bailey in person, or via, video. And, and I look forward to seeing you, at the event on July 24th, 25th, Baxter Arena. So thanks again.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Love
We'll
you.
talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay. Bye.